couple moments late in calling you for the interview. We had a guest earlier, and we just finished up with them. But tell us a little bit about this book, and tell us all about it, my friend.
Well, Origins, it's a science fiction thriller. It's actually my first book. And for all the fans and everybody that wants to know, it's like a Star Trek meets Indiana Jones type of story. The story basically takes place in the 28th century, and there's a particle out in space that this alien race called the Ramastadors are after, and this particle created the whole universe and even created God himself. So this particle has been sought after for thousands, well, even millions of years, and now this alien race is about to come close to uncovering it. So, but in the process of doing that, these aliens are killing millions of people, destroying planets, and searching for it. And as a result, this causes a big war between the Delta Corps, and the Delta Corps are the good guys in the story. They're the military. They're the interstellar military. So in this time period, there's no Army, there's no Marines, there's no Navy, there's no Air Force. There's just interstellar combat. So all the old world militaries have been abolished. So now you just have interstellar military. So the Delta Corps and the Ramastadors are in this brutal battle, and the Delta Corps is losing the war. They're losing the war because the Ramastadors have advanced weapons, strategies far beyond the capacities of the humans. So the humans are just trying to scrap by and just get along. So in the process of this war, they slowly start to uncover what the Ramastadors are really after. And as the story unfolds, the true horror of what they actually get a hold of comes to light when the readers read it.
Fantastic. Now, what do you want readers to take away from your writing?
I want them to be excited. I want them to be excited, and I want them to be involved in something that they have never been involved in before in terms of just reading a story or just watching a movie. I want them to come away with just feeling, just wanting more, just being, reading something and saying, wow, this is a great story. I've never seen a narrative like this before. This is something different. So I want to kind of open, the fans and even readers' eyes to something that they haven't seen before, and just leaves them just wanting more. I just want them to open up the world to science fiction and what's out there in the universe, all the unknown factors that are out there. Are there aliens? Are there not aliens? What's going on out there? What was the power that created God? Did God just kind of just come out of nowhere, or was there a source that created him? So I want the readers to kind of just read it, and for the story just kind of stimulate people's questionings of the universe and to stimulate their thinking, like what's really out there and how did all this come about. So I want them to leave with just seeking knowledge, even after they're done reading it, and just be just really satisfied with reading a great story.
We've got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast, coast to coast, border to border, TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty, iHeartRadio, and 50-plus AM FM stations today. Origins by Christopher J. Laird. He is with us today here on our broadcast. He's a philanthropist, novelist, entrepreneur, mental health therapist, and he is with us today here on Skype Audio. Now, this book, incredibly well written. Tell me about the writing process for this great book.
Well, you know what? It took me, I wrote this book when I was 16. So I wrote this in like 95 through 96. And I'm 37 now. So the book actually has been sitting on the shelf for about 20 years. And, I had ambitions of getting it published, and what ended up happening was I went out to college, pursued my education, and it just kind of fell to the back burner. So what ended up happening was one day I was in my closet, and, my manuscript is still there, all 3 notebooks intact. So, I was kind of wondering to myself, how passionate I was when I was 16, writing the story. So I had just decided, hey, let me get it out, dust it off, and, let me, get it published. And at this point, my writing since I was 16 has drastically changed 20 years later. So I had to definitely, open up the manuscript. I had to change like a lot of things. I had to rewrite a lot of plots and things like that to kind of make it more contemporary to the times and to kind of, bring my writing kind of up to date, because my writing style was just so kind of like in the learning process when I was writing it. So I had to really update my style and everything. But yeah, so I just really had to really change a whole lot of stuff. And the manuscript I wrote 20 years ago, it looks completely different from what I rewrote, today. So it just took a lot of rewriting and a lot of, trying to get some ideas going to kind of make it a lot more richer and a lot more exciting for fans to read.
We've got a great guest with us today. Chris Laird joins us here on Skype Audio. Now, your book is stealing the hearts of reading enthusiasts everywhere. Give us a thumbnail sketch of the plot and a closer look at some of the main characters.
Some of the main characters in my novel is Michael Stratford. Michael Stratford is the head hero in the novel. He is the captain of the Horizon warship. So he's basically, in the midst of all the intense, most bloodiest battles in the story. So Michael Stratford is actually one of your main heroes. His wife, Lisa, is another character where she lives on the planet of Mykia. And, Michael and Lisa are kind of like in turmoil right now because Michael's in the war. He's, in these intense battles, frequently. And he hasn't seen his wife in like 5 years. So, Lisa, she's kind of feeling the emptiness, the sadness, and the loneliness. And now she's really just kind of seeking for her husband, want to be with her husband. But at this time, it's not probably the best time right now. So you got that conflict, between them. You also have, Chris Ross. He's the commander on the Iris, and he's, a troublemaker. He does things, behind the curtain. So he's just kind of doing what needs to be done, but at the same time, he's kind of, stepping on people to get what he wants. And then you also have Roland Clegg. He's the lieutenant, kind of, Stratford's right-hand man. Exana is another character. She's one of the bad guys. She's a spy and an enforcer for the Ramassador. So Exana is a Machian who lives on Mykia, and she's basically on the planet of Mykia searching for the particle there as well, because the Ramassadors believe some of the particle is on Mykia. And Exana is, doing what you need to do on the planet surface to kind of get that done. And Roll is the main Ramassador. He's the dictator of the Ramassador alien race. So he's more so kind of in charge of, all of these attacks and all of these mass enslavements of the planets. So he's a cruel dictator as well as a Ramassador. They're just a savage, evil race. So those are the main characters right there, and they all have their own conflict that they're going through. But at the end of the, but their main goal is the particle. They're trying to get this particle, and whoever gets it first, I'm not going to tell you who gets it first, but whoever gets it first, that's where the trouble starts to begin.
We've got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here in our broadcast. Chris Laird with us. He has got this incredible book. Now, Chris, give us the profile of the typical reader who's going to love your book.
This is more for, science fiction fans, but it is definitely, I think readers who like love stories, who like mystery, and who like a lot of action. I think that'll appeal to those type of readers as well. So even though it's in the science fiction genre, I think readers and fans from every genre and, every part of the reading world would enjoy this story because everything is in there that I think can appeal to a lot of readers. So even with, like a lot of war stories, I think a lot of military families kind of know what it's like to have a spouse out in the war and not seeing them from a long period of time. So, I think a lot of people can relate to Lisa as she's kind of, mourning, well, not mourning, but just kind of yearning, her husband, being with her husband. So I think there's a lot of relatability, with the characters and to, like, people who, read the book. So I think it appeals to everybody, and I think everybody can, grab something out of it. But if you like a lot of action, a lot of intrigue, then I think this is definitely the book for you to read.
We've got a great guest with us today. He joins us live here on iHeartRadio, AMFM247.com, TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty. And before we let you go, if people want to get a hold of you online, social media, how do they do that exactly?
People can go to my website. It's www.chrislaird.net. That's CHRISLAIRD.net. On there is my profile, all my radio interviews, commercials, movie trailers, well, actually book trailers. But fans can check all that out on my website, and that's chrislaird.net. And you can also purchase the book from my website. And my book is also available on lulu.com. That's LULU.com. It's available on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and BooksAMillion.com. And you can also get it in Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble Nook, the Apple iBookstore, and the Kobo Bookstore. So the book is available in ebook format, Kindle, paperback, of course. So whatever you like reading, it's available for whatever you like.
Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you making time for us today. We've got to move along, but I appreciate you being live with us today, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, thank you as well.
Appreciate it. Chris Laird with us today here on Skype audio, and that is that. We are going to take a break. When we come back here on our big program, we will be talking to Telly Davidson. He's going to be coming up here in a few moments. Lots of good things coming up here on our big broadcast. Stay with us, coast to coast, border to border. Tune in, iTunes, our Radio Loyalty, and of course, the Jiggy Jaguar app is now available. We've got more coming up here on our big broadcast.